George Santos is doing something few politicians can these days. He's uniting voters across the political spectrum. 2/3 of all voters in New York State now say Santos should resign from Congress. That's the majority of Democrats, independents, and Republicans. And it's hurting the rest of the Republican New York congressional delegation as well. Democrats are trying to lump them all in with George Santos. And all this comes amid another report about Santos, this one from CBS News. It says he was questioned by the Secret Service in a 2017 probe of international credit card fraud. I'm joined now by someone who is covering all things George Santos. Marissa Kabas is an MSNBC columnist and publisher of The Handbasket on Substack. Marissa, tell us about George. What is the secret story? I know, right? I mean, it was one thing when he invented the internet, but now, right? Tell us what's going on with this Secret Service story.
So I say when it comes to George that where there's fire, there's fire. And he seems to have connections to all these different crimes. And this one has to do with a credit card skimming scheme, say that 5 times fast, that happened in Seattle in 2017 with a family friend of his. And this man was caught skimming credit cards from a machine at an ATM. And in his rental car in Seattle, across the country, they found George Santos's Florida address. And so shortly thereafter, Santos was questioned by the Secret Service because they look into financial crimes that have an international component. And this family friend of his is from Brazil, which is, where George's family is as well. And so there seems to be this international credit card skimming scheme that George is somehow tangentially a part of. We're just not sure exactly what, if any, role he played.
I can't keep up, but I do want to play something for you that Santos told a judge in Seattle during that time. Take a listen.
Let me hear from his friend briefly. All right, sir, tell me your name. So what do you do for work?
I'm a retired politician and I work for Goldman Sachs.
You work for Goldman Sachs in New York?
So he's telling the Goldman Sachs lies 6 years ago. What does that tell us at this point with this guy?
It tells us that he has always been a liar. He has always had a hard time with the truth. Even at the time, he was referring to himself as a politician, but he wasn't even a politician yet at that point. So he was neither a Goldman Sachs employee nor a politician. And he felt very comfortable lying in front of a judge in a court of law. And so it just shows that there are no limits to the things that he will lie about.
So help us kind of contextualize a lot of this, because there are multiple ongoing investigations into Santos at the moment. So if you could lay out for us and give us a little sense of what you're hearing about the status of all of these probes that seemingly are everywhere, covering everything.
So he's being investigated at pretty much every level of government right now. There's federal investigations into his campaign finances. There's local investigations about his handling of funds for a dying dog a number of years ago. And then there's an ethics investigation going on in the House into his conduct and his lies. And it seems like anyone who's ever had anything to do with him is trying to distance themselves. I mean, just today I reported about a local woman who, was running a campaign against a homeless shelter. And George somehow inserted himself in that. And she ended up donating him thousands of dollars and they became very good friends. And now all of a sudden she's saying, Oh no, I didn't know him. He was just some guy. And so he just keeps running into trouble and stepping on a rake. And no one wants to admit that they were once very much involved with him.
So we've got about a minute left, but I do want to play for you Santos' last week's interview with Piers Morgan. And he made quite a revealing statement. Let's take a quick listen.
I'll humor you this. I ran in 2020 for the same exact seat for Congress. And I got away with it then, and I guess...
Right. Well, that's honest.
Stupid.
So you thought, actually, they're not going to find out?
No, I didn't think so.
I mean, he tells us he got away with it in 2020. What's your takeaway from that interview, and how serious the problem is with this guy?
Well, he's not wrong. He did get away with it. And there is not a strong vetting process in place for people running for Congress, which it seems like one of the most important jobs to have a pretty stringent background check. And so I felt like with that interview, he knew that he was backed into a corner because he was dealing with what he thought was probably going to be a pretty friendly interview. And Piers Morgan kind of reverted back to his old ways of being a hard-hitting interviewer. And he was really trying to get under his skin. And I think it worked. And George really had nothing to say for himself other than, yeah, I lied and I got away with it.
I love it. Marissa Kabas on the Santos beat. We'd love it. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Coming up, Joe Biden has had more success in his first 2 years than most modern presidents. So why are there still rumblings that he should stand aside in 2024? We'll talk about that next.